show you a really traditional Easter recipe today. This is called pizza rustica. We used to call it pizza Vienna when I was growing up, and my mum would make it on a Good Friday, but we weren't allowed to eat it on a Good Friday because we weren't allowed to eat meat. So we'd have to wait until Easter Sunday before we ate it. It's kind of to mark the end of Lent, so it would be using all the rich and lovely things that had been denied over the Lent period. And it's made with eggs and cheese and lots of cured meats and lots of delicious things. So there's loads of recipes on the internet for this, and each region has a different version of it. I'm not going to put any salt in this pastry because our filling is quite salty, so we don't need any extra salt. I cooked off some pancetta to put in the filling, and I've just got some of the rendered off fat from the pancetta, so I'm going to add that to it. If you don't use pancetta for this, just use olive oil. So there's about a tablespoon of that pancetta fat in there, and I'm going to use a tablespoon of olive oil as well to go in there. So you can put all kind of cured meats in this. It's whatever you've got and whatever your family likes. So I'm just going to add some cold water to this, and it's just bringing it together until it forms a dough that we can roll out. I'm going to make two 7-inch pies with this, and my mum used to make about a dozen really big pies every Easter, and she'd give them out to friends, neighbours, family, anybody really, and it was just kind of to celebrate the end of Lent. I've overdone it with a bit of water, so I'm just going to go in with a bit more flour. So it's quite nice, it's you know, easy, you don't have to worry about exact quantities for this. So this is looking good. I'm going to turn it out. So now I'm going to roll out my pastry to fill the bottom of these two 7-inch pan tins. I've put some parchment in the bottom there just to help with the turning out later. So I'm going to split this into two, and then I'll need 2/3 for the bottom, about 1/3 for the top for each tin. So they're my tops, I'm going to save them, and these are my bottoms. Made the bases, and I've trimmed them off with just a little bit of an overlap so that we can finish the pie off. And then I'm just starting to roll out the tops. So we've got too much of this dough, but I don't mind cooking too much of the dough because this is the same dough as I use, or similar dough as I use for the piadini, the flatbreads. So I can pop it in the freezer with some cling film over it, and then use it in the morning to make some flatbreads with eggs for a really lovely breakfast. So I've rolled out my 2 tops and I've got 4 beautiful little balls there that I'm going to make into piadini tomorrow morning. Lovely flatbreads for our breakfast. So I'm going to put those in the fridge. In this bowl I've got 9 eggs. I'm just going to whisk those up. Again, I'm not going to salt this because our ingredients are quite salty. Then in here, in the traditional pizza rustica, you would use a fresh cheese, a salted fresh cheese, which is very similar to feta, and I can't get that cheese here, so I'm just going to crumble in about 50 grams of feta. And then I've got a couple of balls of mozzarella. I'm going to add those for some creaminess. I've got about 100 grams of a mix of grated cheddar and mozzarella that you buy in a bag. And then I've got some smoked pancetta that I've fried off until really crispy earlier. And I've got a little bit of chorizo as well to go in for a bit of added flavour. Not Italian, but in Italy we would use lovely chili fennel sausage. And then I've got some mortadella ham that I've chopped up really small. That can go in as well. So those are just my choices, but as I say, you can put in whatever you like. I'm going to put in just a handful of parmesan as well, and then mix all that up. Drop of water in the bowl where I mix the eggs, and then that will just make a little watered down egg glaze for the top.